Hey guys, I decided to make you guys a video to help you with the studying for this test. So the first part of Chapter 9.1 that we had issues with in the review day was solving using the square root property. So the steps to solving with the square root property are step 1, solve or get the squared term by itself. Okay, as you can see in this situation, x squared is already by itself, so it doesn't have anything added to it. It's just x squared. So we already have gotten step 1 completed. Then step 2, square root both sides. And then you simplify. So simplify / solve. Okay, so this is not a very complicated thing. I just want to go back over it with you so that we are all squared away for the test. So, here we go. First step, square root both sides. So, here we go. I've got x squared, square root both sides. Remember, when you square root something that's already squared, you can have two possible answers. You can either have the positive or the negative square root of 40. Okay, so 40 can be broken down into 4 and 10, and 4 can be broken down into 2 and 2. Since 10 can be broken down into just 2 and 5, we have one set of twins. They come out, so we end up with x equals plus or minus 2 square roots of 10, and that's our x value. All right? So the next problem that we're going to work on is a problem that is a little more complicated, but notice we already have the squared term by itself. There's nothing added to it, so we're just going to go ahead. We're going to take the square root of both sides, square root, and what do we do when we square root something squared? That gives us the positive or negative square root of 16, which is 4. Now I'm going to add 2 to both sides to solve for x. So I've got 3x equals 2 plus or minus 4. Now what's next? Well, I have to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 3. So x equals 2 plus or minus 4 divided by 3. Well, I have two possible answers. I have x equals 2 plus 4 over 3, and I have x equals 2 minus 4 over 3. Well, 2 plus 4 over 3 is 6 over 3, which is 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 2 over 3, which is negative 2/3. So that tells us that x equals 2 or negative 2/3, and those are our two answers. All right? The next one, notice that the squared term is not by itself. It has something that's being added to it. So we first have to deal with the thing being added to it, like we were solving for the squared term. All right. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And now I have x minus 4 squared. Ooh, that was interesting. X minus 4 squared equals 15 minus 6 is 9. So now I've got the squared term by itself. So I'm going to square root both sides. And I get x minus 4 equals, yes, you got it, plus or minus 3. Add 4 to both sides. And I get x equals 4 plus or minus 3. All right. Right now you can pause the video and try to finish this up, or you can finish it up with me. Okay. So we have x equals 4 plus 3 and x equals 4 minus 3. Well, 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So x equals 7 or 1, and those are our two answers. Good job. All right, the next one, notice this is the last one that we're going to cover for this portion of the tutorial. We've got something squared already done, but we don't have anything to add, so we're not going to have to subtract anything first. So square root both sides. And we've got 5x minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 15. I apologize, that's my dog messing around. Square root of 15 does not have a pretty square root, so we're just going to go ahead with what we're going to do. So we're going to add 2 to both sides, and that gives us 5x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 15. Divide both sides by 5, and we get x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 15 divided by 5, which cannot be simplified any farther, so there we go.